the Solar Run Sci-Fi Podcast.
Right, hello, welcome to this week's Solar One. So don't you dare put a drum sound effect in this. Right.
It's there.
Hello, welcome to the, what number is it?
197, I think it is.
Right, start again. Hello and welcome to this week's Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast at 197. And over in the far corner is Michael Ball.
Hello.
Dublin. And over here, by the gods of science fiction, and the drum of love is playing away.
All right, okay, you've already mentioned it twice. What is it? You've got to give some information about the drum of love.
No, I can't.
All right, okay. Well, let's just say something in Marty's life has been involved with the drum of love. That's just going to cause even more confusion, but I understand
it's a science fiction mystery.
The drum of love, the next generation. How are you?
I'm fucking awesome news. I have two of my stupidity files have been chosen for a web series sci-fi festival. They've won, and I'm also getting an award for outstanding story.
Well, that's pretty good. Actually, it's very good. I mean, it's you're going through. It's funny. We've all been doing lots of things. I mean, I've been having all sorts of stuff with these people I've been talking to in the States and everything, and that's all happening again tomorrow for another recording. You've been doing. So, give us some more information about. So, how come it's really taking off? Where did you go to get this attention?
When I went to bed last night, I got 3 emails. From the Film and Web Series Film Festival, and they put my films through, and I got another one for outstanding storyline for Phone Society.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good to get recognition for what you do. I mean, I've always thought that I've always hoped that the podcast is relatively okay. It's quite successful. You know, I always thought it, but we are getting quite a few sort of people on the show from various places, and you know, we've had authors, we had Tom Julian ages ago, and we've had a few quite interesting co-hosts and stuff like that. So, but it is good when you do something which you really enjoy and people recognize it, and I think that's an important factor for what you're doing.
I think we need to discuss the 200 episode tonight as well.
Right, do you want to have some people to come back or something, don't you?
I want to go live for an hour and a half.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, okay.
Get some people on.
We could probably get Jay from Sidetrack. We could get
talk about this after the podcast.
That's fine. Okay, we are. I mean, we're not there yet, but we want to do something.
No, but we're 3 weeks away now, and we need to do something. And the big question everybody's wanting to know is, have you watched Blake 7?
No. I'll be rewatching.
I can hear the drum of love not being very happy at this precise moment. The drum of love.
You keep mentioning the drum of love, and we can't talk about it.
Right, okay. I want a drum sound effect there.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to edit that. I'll do some bongo drums or something, or love drums or something. I don't know what I'll find that. Yeah. So that should be interesting. What have we got here?
Yeah.
Got Jamie. Sidetrack is talking to me at the moment. Go on.
Came across something very interesting this week.
What's that?
Apparently, I don't know. I can't find it again, but it's interesting. The original Battlestar Galactica may be getting continued.
After Galactica, you mean, will Galactica 1980 be included?
No, we don't. We never talk about.
I like that. I like the flying bikes in it and stuff like that. And what was the doctor? What was the kid who's like a kid who's a doctor? Dr. Azealia,
just
sort of.
Forget about Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, okay.
I'm on about the original series. We might be getting a sequel to it.
We already have Galactica 1980.
Oh, fuck off, Galactica, Nigel. Will you fuck off?
What?
Right, there is redeeming qualities of Galactica 18.
I like that. I like Galactica
There's two
1980.
things, right?
What?
The Viper bikes, right, which are fucking
Which I
cool,
just talked about, the flying bikes,
right?
yeah.
And the final episode of Starbucks. They're the
Oh, well,
only two.
and the night the
decent.
Cylons landed as well, the Halloween episode.
I'm not talking about that.
I like that one.
I am not talking about that.
You don't like that one? What
Let's
about when they
talk
go
about-
back to Nazi Germany in the time travel episode? And
Well, that's not what when they're in white suits.
yeah, they have white suits, which was the same white suits that they had in that episode of the original series where they encounter those alien beings.
They evolved humans.
Yeah, and their suits went the same color. So they just took the suits from the first story.
You say you've done it, haven't you? We're
What?
talking about it now, Galactica fucking 1980.
Hey, we haven't reviewed that yet. We've got to review that. Well, we reviewed the original series.
Have we not reviewed 80?
Not 19. We did the original Battlestar ages. It was one of the earliest ones, but we never reviewed Galactica 1980.
Well, we'll do that.
Or we
We'll
haven't
do that
reviewed,
for 198 then.
and we haven't reviewed the original Twilight Zone, or we haven't the original Outer Limits, or District 9, or Jurassic Park. I've got lots of stuff to review.
And we haven't reviewed Black 7, have we?
No, I know. Well, yeah. Do you know what? You're going to kill me. Do you know what I've been watching this week? Rewatching. I thought myself a ship. Malcolm Martin said, "Oh, you got to do Black 7, just the first 3 episodes." Do you know what I watched instead?
No, I know.
Star
No
Trek
one
Star Trek Discovery season 2 again. I'll give it a rewatch
Why couldn't you just watch 3 hours of Black 7?
because I couldn't be bothered. I tell you what, I did watch.
You know, I've made fucking
I tell you what, I did watch and I forgot and I've not seen it. I watched Beetlejuice, the original Beetlejuice, right?
Oh, the original. Yeah,
And I've no, I've not seen that. I watched it on Sunday with my wife, and because the new one's out, I thought it was utter. I thought it was fucking weird, right? And then we went to the cinema and we watched Beetlejuice. And do you know what? I liked it. I quite liked it. Yeah. And do you know what? I liked it so much, then I like the original one more. It's like the original one is better now.
I thought the new one was better than the original.
Well, but I think the original is better now because of the sequel.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it just worked for me. I just thought, yeah, this is really quite good. I liked it a lot. It's definitely a watcher. It's definitely one to. I don't know what it was. I just like the way that it was. The continuity was really good. It was a shame we didn't have the Gina Davis, the 2 from the first movie. They were just sort of like written off as they've gone on or something. But I thought it was quite solid. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it, and yeah, I thought it was just very good. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Alien Romulus is out in a couple of weeks' time. By the way, everybody.
Yes, it is. So I went to a James Bond thing on Sunday.
James Bond. What's happening with James? Is there any news on a new James Bond yet?
No, but they're celebrating Goldfinger 60 years.
Oh, Goldfinger! I love James Bond.
And I've got a golden gun.
Oh yeah, look at that. Is that a gun or are you just pleased to see me?
No, it's a golden gun. It's a proper golden gun.
Oh wow, that looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, we've only reviewed one James Bond film because it was the sci-fi one, which of course was.
Yeah, we can get away with 4 science fiction James Bond movies.
Yeah, because there are a few. Which I mean, there was one with the Pierce Brosnan had an invisible car in one of them. There was the earlier one. Is it Golf? What's the one with the satellite that gets eaten up by the Russian satellite? And it's sort of like,
I'm watching that.
Which one's that? And it's got the music in that is so good. The theme tune with the ship's coming along in space, and I love the music in that.
Diamonds Are Forever.
Diamonds Are Forever. Yeah. I think that's a franchise which hasn't been too damaged by woke. I didn't mind the most recent James Bond. It could be about to go over the cliff like Doctor Who and Star Trek and Star Wars have done. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen to James Bond in new?
I've written it off after Daniel Craig.
Oh, he was all right. Did you like Daniel Craig? I thought he was all right.
No.
Oh, did you? Oh, I quite liked him. No, didn't work for you. Why did you not like him? Why?
I don't know. Maybe I'm old school. I don't know. I did mind the one with that French actor in it. But it not quite.
Skyfall?
Yeah, I think it was Skyfall. I like that one. I did like the first one. I was all hyped for Spectre. I went to see that, and that really fucked me off.
Hmm.
And well, it ended up where Blofeld was like his stepbrother or something.
What about the last one where, spoilers, James Bond actually dies?
That was just, I just don't
What? What?
That's 3.5 hours long now, you know.
I enjoyed it. I don't remember it being as long as that.
But apparently, it's established that's set in another universe.
Oh no! No, don't! I don't want to do. I don't want a multiverse James Bond. I just want James Bond.
Well, it could be a
No, no, I don't want a multiverse. Why are we gonna have like? What about they could do one where they could CGI and Timothy Dalton meets Pierce Brosnan and like that Spider-Man one with the multiverse Spider one we had about 2 years ago.
The 10
Spider-Verse. Oh, fuck that. I don't want that. I love science fiction, but I don't want a James Bond. I just want him to blow up people who are dodgy and criminals and stuff. And Blofeld to stroke his white pussy and things like that.
I love secret layers and secret organizations.
Yeah, I like that. It's funny. I'm the world's biggest science fiction fan, but I'm not. Some things just don't put multiverse and don't do alternate reality stuff. Just watch the film and bollocks to it. I don't know. That's just how I feel about that one. Anyway, I remember this because I thought you were interested. You might have heard about this. Now, we have mentioned The Acolyte a few times, and we have mentioned how we weren't impressed. Now, do you remember that the actual total cost of this production was expected to be $180 million?
It's 260 million.
It's actually $230.1 million. It's almost $250 million, Martin.
No, I apologize for being 30 million.
No, don't apologize for what you're saying. What I'm just saying is, why do they make this bloody thing?
If they'd have given me $20 million, I could have made something.
Oh, I'd love to have seen you make something with what you could do. I mean, obviously, you've been saying a bit about. So when this all sort of like happens and everything, are you going to share stuff on the podcast, or is it going to be just on your own?
No,
channel,
I will do, but I can't do it until if I achieve a certain point. Then I'll talk about it. I can talk about it now.
Sure.
But
it's totally in your balls in your court. Whatever you want.
When I get to that, when something happens, then I'll talk about it. But there's nothing happening. I won't talk about it.
Yeah.
So which fair enough, really. So I'm quite happy. I'm very happy. I've lost actually. I've sort of drafted third one, but.
Right.
But it's sort of like, it's in pre-stages. I'm not getting any flow coming in.
So remind me again exactly what you've done. You've done the Toilet Traveller, and then you
21
did
episodes. Yeah,
21. You've done 21 episodes of that.
There's 21 videos up off the Toilet Traveller.
Oh, I didn't know there's many as that. I've seen one or two of them.
I need you to do a JPEG for me. I want you to contribute the artwork to it.
I could do something funny for you. I mean,
I will tell you all.
Yeah, don't tell off air. Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. Yeah, okay. All right.
And you will get a credit at these film festivals for your artwork.
Okay, that's all right. I mean, I am starting to go a bit more with AI imagery rather than Photoshop, but I can mix both together.
I think what you've done with AI is incredible.
Yeah, but it's not all me. Thank you for the compliment, but I mix it together, but. I don't like the fact that I'm starting to go more to AI than doing stuff my own, like Photoshop.
Yeah,
I do a mix of both. It's starting to lose my own abilities, so it's a bit
because when that can do full editing, you won't need to do anything. You know what I mean?
Well, I do half and half, where it's a bit Photoshop, a bit AI mixed together, so it's a compromise.
Well, I started the special effects course last Thursday all day.
How's it going?
And I'll tell you something. I had they had. Several hours of health and safety before the course started. Let's not go.
Why? You're doing special effects?
That's what they do. They've got to do it because, but that's the world we live in. And, I just want to get on. But in the afternoon, we started and it was all about layering over a film, and it was fucking mind blowing. It was like it's not like an editing timeline; it's like it's all new thing, and it's back to the drawing board now. So but I am going to learn. I am going to learn when I'm going to shoot somebody, and they're going to vaporize red and disappear. So I am going to do that.
Is it something where you act it out and then you'd use software to do the special effects?
Yeah,
that's what makes sense.
Yeah,
I've never done that. I mean,
layering. Yeah.
I mean, the closest thing I've done, which is not layering, is the remember the Space 1999 Christmas thing we did?
Yes.
Where that obviously in the original season 1, it would have this week, and it go ding, and it would have like scene after scene after scene after scene, and a lot of that was green screen, a lot of that was images of all sorts of stuff. And that was hard to do because you've got to get the right length. You've got to do stagger, cut. Have the music playing in the background, and then make it so that when it cuts at the end, it matches up with the music and the visual trailer.
Yeah.
But I do love doing all that creative stuff.
Well, I'm getting excited. I want to shoot somebody, and I want them to glow red and disappear.
Oh, I'd love to learn that. You want to do the invaders? You've got the invaders ship.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to do it.
I can't do
I've got an idea for the pilot episode of bringing the invaders back.
Yeah, but how would you mix a special effect into a body?
I don't know what they did. They did it back then, did they? In 60s.
Yeah, how would you do it? I don't know that. I could do some. I've got limited capabilities. I could do some limited stuff, but I couldn't do a shot where I'm falling on. No, I could do it actually. Yes, I could. I could do a shot of a transit. Actually, I could do something. If someone gets shot and then they fall to the ground and they're dead, I could then fade it out with obviously move the body out the way, have the plain bit behind with a dissolve, but the red glowy bit, I don't know how to do the red glowy bit around the body. I could do it.
Did it then, didn't they?
I mean, I've done TARDIS fade outs before with my model. I did that a while ago, and that looked pretty good with the special sound effects and everything like that.
Yeah, but they did it in the 60s.
I don't know how they did it.
Yeah, but they did it, didn't they? I know they mastered it all on and that, but they did it. So it must be much easier to do today with special
Yeah, I could do it in 5 minutes today compared to what they did in the 60s.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Now I've got an idea for the pilot episode for the invaders.
Oh yeah, go on.
The Vincent Diaries.
The Vincent Diaries. Okay. Well, what does that entail?
What do you mean? What does it entail? Well, I've just told you what it entails. Somebody years later finds his diaries, come across them.
Okay.
And so they're still here. They're still here.
Oh, so he wants to track down from the diaries, and then he finds elements of what it was in the diaries and chases the aliens. Or something.
And it opens the door. They're still here, but their world died and they're trapped here now. There's not a lot of them, but they're here. He knocks them back in the final move, really devastated them. Yeah. But they're still here. They're manipulating things in the background, but it's not enough of them. And it's called the Vincent Diaries.
It's weird, certain shows. Actually, is my voice bouncing back? There's a bit of an echo.
No, your voice coming across perfect.
Okay. It might be a bit when we transmit it, don't know. I rewatched the Tripods over the weekend, and you talked to me about the obviously the novels and obviously the third part, which was never made, plus the prequel. And I gave it a rewatch, and I haven't seen it for a while. And oh my god, it was so good. And why it's never been remade? I think you're talking about the remakes of other things. The Tripods should be remade into at least a movie.
You should read the prequel book. It's only 300 pages.
I think I did read it. I think I did read it.
No, he wrote the prequel last. It's called The Night of the Tripods.
Yeah, I know.
And it goes into the invasion of the 21st century, and it's devastating. The brutality of that invasion is mind-blowing.
But do you think that Tripods might have been massive if it had got that last series done?
I think if they'd have done that prequel series,
or even just the original trilogy,
the first series book where it's then going to White Mountain's quite boring.
Yeah. I mean, they only filmed part 2.
The second book,
City of Golden Lead.
Yeah. Once he goes into the city,
That's
get
when
a
it
lot
really
of
get.
answers.
Yeah, that's when it all starts sort of going up and one.
And in the third book, it ramps it up a level because it is like we start adapting technology and that.
Yeah.
And they destroy 2 of the cities and they have to attack the third. Henry dies. You know, Henry, he dies.
Does he?
He blows the dome in. They can't penetrate the dome.
Because Henry goes back in the second one. He actually goes back to the White
Yeah,
Mountain.
yeah. Well, Henry sacrifices his life, and because when they destroy the 2 cities, people start regaining their freedom in the heads. You know.
Oh,
with
so the
cat.
cities are transmitting a signal, are they? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because in the first book, this prequel book, it came out years later. They tried when they came to Earth. They actually landed. First time they landed, they sent down some tripods, and we destroyed them. We wiped them out. So they went and hid behind the moon and realised they started doing it through TV programs, hypnotising people.
Oh, that's where okay. Until they
No,
can get
but
the
this
cat.
is where it gets even darker because what they were sending, they were making people build helmets.
Oh yeah.
And so these hypnotic waves made them build these control helmets at home that build people. So half at world were all brainwashed fighting the other half at world.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then the tripods landed. And there were a nuclear strike as well on the tripods, but they destroyed the submarine. And that's when they took over because they had humans fighting each other. They were like them. Do you remember that episode when they're in Paris and they're down in the underground?
Yeah. And they found all the weapons and stuff.
Yes,
yeah.
There you go. They were the people hiding from the people with the helmets on that had
Oh.
been brainwashed. Yeah, it's all there. And what they could do with this as a whole franchise is incredible. It's dark, but there's hope in it as well.
Mind you, if the BBC made it, it would be a total pile of bollocks.
I mean, I get the blue parrot's not in it. The blue parrot bar,
pink parrot,
the pink parrot, that's not in it, and the cognosks, they're not in it.
Yeah, I remember when we actually reviewed this in episode. It was something like episode 14 or something. I remember you saying that even back then, it was almost 5 years ago. You're saying that the cognos weren't in the original book. And the Pink Parrot wasn't there, the nightclub and things like that. I still think the BBC did a good job of it.
They did. But the prequel book explains how the three men get set up in the mountains as well.
Okay, yeah.
Because where they are used to be a skiing lodge, like a skiing holiday park. And survivors escape there because the rest of the world don't go there. And that's how they sort of start surviving.
Okay.
You know, but that all time the prequel book is quite dark, and there's no opening at the lost, but it sets everything up. It's worth. I get it for about £5 on Amazon. It's worth it.
Yeah, I might do that.
I read it in one night. I loved it, and I thought, why can't they make this?
Well, it'd probably be too expensive. That's a problem. Probably be too expensive, and
it'll ruin it anyway. They'll pick it up anyway.
Yeah, I mean, any other news before we go into our focus?
No, there was something, but I don't remember what it was. There was
thing. There's still some rumors.
The Battlestar Galactica thing I came across.
There's still rumors of a new Stargate series. There's still rumors of a new Stargate series again. That's going back and forth.
According to somebody I know.
No, I know, but I still think that MGM, they've got a real good chance of. It's such a lucrative deal, and like going back to James Bond, Stargate and James Bond are its 2 biggest assets. So there is a new streaming site. So
all we've got to do with Stargate, just set it up 25 years later. 20 years later. You've got the older ones that are in charge of stuff. Earth set up a few colonies, and there's new Stargate things. And you could have her in as she's the new general. Earth's more united now than before. They're expanding out. And then because they haven't explored the entire galaxy, there's other things out there. And there could be a new dark force. You could bring the Gulf back as well, but not like the Wasp. There could be like little villains in it. There's a lot you could do. I mean, even last lot of it barely touched that universe. It's infinite. You can go anywhere you want.
Yeah, it's straight. I don't know.
I can't understand they want to make remakes and reboots and just you've got a franchise that's already set with 20 years of history.
They'll mess it
Just
up.
build
I
them.
don't trust them. They'll mess it
No,
up.
I don't. No, I don't.
They mess up just about everything that they bring back. Most stuff doesn't work. I don't know why, because
Yeah, but it's there, isn't it? Taking, isn't it? It's there, isn't it?
it's like, the Section 31 thing looks terrible.
Oh, that.
Honestly, I mean, that trailer was awful. It wasn't
No.
even. I mean, it was really, really shy.
Looked very cheap as well, didn't it?
It just looked. It looked like a fan film. It looked like a YouTube movie or something. It just, you can think of what's the guy that did that action art? Was it Alec Kurtzman or Alec Peters?
Oh, yeah, there's been a load about him this week.
Oh, what now? Because it still hasn't been made, is it?
It's on Facebook that court cases coming and
What? Still?
people, just lots of shit. I better be careful what I say because he's threatening everybody.
Oh no, we're just just hearing what we're saying.
Because there's that page that's like outing him. There's a Facebook page. And he's been threatening people, and I think Paramount are going after it. There's like loads of it. And, people, because people are always putting up, somebody got hold of his expenses or something a couple of months back and put them all up. He went to a convention and he got sidelined at some convention or something in America. I mean, I used to read it all because I want my 10 quid back.
20 quid for me.
Well,
sorry, I've got to just, 20
Alex,
quid.
Alex, can I have my £10 back?
Can I have my 20 quid, please? And can I have my film or can I have my 20 quid? It has been about 17 years. When was that? 6 or 7 years ago?
I think he did something recently saying, well, there's more accident.
Oh, yeah, what?
Some announcement, but I think he's lost that studio he bought or something. I don't know.
What? The one we built the bridge and everything?
The one you put 20 quid into, my tenner got spent in there as well.
Yeah, it disappeared, isn't it? I'm still staggered that there's not some major fan film. Farragut Forward, I think that's about to release their big. You know that Track Fan 68 was a big fan. He kept going on about Farragut Forward.
Yeah,
I think that's about to come out with a big new. It's like Wrath of Khan era kind of sort of fan film.
They're very good. I've been the Hidden Frontiers released a couple of new.
Yeah, and I saw First Frontier recently with Robert April. It was a fan film, and it was a full length film. Some of the CGI, some of the special effects were often iffy, but the guy that played Robert April, I thought he did a good job. I thought it was pretty good.
Well, I think what they do is they've got limited budget.
Yes, I mean they're varying quality. I mean, obviously,
but the writing of the stories.
Star Trek Continues is the best fan series ever.
Yeah.
I mean, every episode. I just, I mean, I know we've had Vic on, but I just think that they were just so good that everybody should check out all. It is like the end of the original series. It's just it links up so well with TOS. And it's such a shame that they couldn't have made a few more episodes because, I consider that as good as anything that Star Trek's been made by the proper people. Maybe apart from Picard season 3, which was really high tier in 25 years, 20 years. So it's anyway. Let's we're gonna actually because we need to pause for our Zoom pause. Anything quickly before we go into our focus of the week?
No, that's it. Well, no, that's it. Really.
No, okay, right. We'll be back in a second with our focus of the week. See you in a second.
It's the Solar Sci-Fi Focus of the Week.
Okay, so this week we are reviewing a film from, I think it's 1977, same year as Star Wars. It's a film directed by Steven Spielberg. It was a big film. Star Wars was actually bigger, but it still had quite a prominent factor in it when it was released, and it was still very memorable. back in the 80s compared to other sort of films of the genre. And that was, of course, Close Encounters of the Third Kind with Richard Dreyfuss and everybody else. And it was aliens and people were having their minds controlled and subliminal messages and the need to go to the Devil's Tower to meet the aliens. And I'm not giving it a very high credible initial opening statement about the film, and it is a very good film. So let's ask first, Martin, what did you think of Close Encounters of the Third Kind? I just realised my mic has been away the whole time. Did you hear me the whole time?
Yeah, no, I did hear you very well, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I might have been a bit quiet.
I'm just shocked at what you just come out with.
What?
Well, like, I would have thought that you would have given it a lot more praise than how you presented it.
I don't know. I'm tired. It's been a long day. No, I do like the film. I don't know. For some reason, I do like the film a lot, but I don't know why. But the opening statement, I agree, did come across as a bit underwhelming. I mean, I do remember when I first watched it back in the probably it was on the BBC in the 80s or something. I did like it a lot, and it has actually stayed. A lot of it is actually still good to this day. But I don't know. For some reason, I gave it a rewatch. I did still like it, but it's one of those films that, you know, sometimes you get a film that you really liked years ago and it's not quite the level that it used. So some films maintain it. Some films even get better as they get older, and it is still a good film. But I don't know. There's a lot of padding in it. There's a lot of kind of like, you know, him fighting with the missus because he was starting to lose his element, and I don't know. Go on, you tell me. Give me some more perspective from your end, because I'm not.
I like, some of us watch stuff like, you know, before the podcast, like, you know, like we're still waiting for
Like
somebody
7,
to
you
watch.
mean? Yeah.
Like, so, all right, you said it before me. Fair enough.
I knew you were going there.
Yeah, all right, right.
Yeah.
And I saw it at the cinema.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, the Odeon. Yeah.
You must have been quite young then when that was.
I was very young. Yeah.
Oh, and that might have actually given it a bigger appeal, because you see a film at the cinema.
I think I was at middle school. I think I was first year at middle school.
Right.
About 10.
Okay.
And I went to see my parents. I remember we queued for over an hour to get into the cinema to see it. I remember that. Queued for a long time. Back then, the cinemas used to have a bar in.
Oh, yes.
Back then.
Yes.
I remember parents like just dumped me in there and they went off to the bar. I was sat there, you know, with my ice cream, my Kiora, that was it.
Kiora.
Yeah.
Adore her. Yeah.
And then they came in, we sat down and watched the film, and it's like, I was a kid, it was amazing, but it wasn't Star Wars as a kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then years later, obviously, I came across it on VHS, and I saw it in the late 80s, or when I was like 18, 19, 20, you know, and I think I'd seen it on TV once over years, and I did appreciate it for what it was. I watched it 2 days ago.
Okay.
And I wasn't overtly over impressed with it.
Yeah. So you're getting the same vibe that I'm giving back to you.
Yeah. I was surprised, and I got the upgraded version of it.
With the extra ending, the special edition at the end. Yeah.
And I watched it, and I have to agree with you. Now, there is things. I like the thing with the French guy, the scientist.
He was trying to trying to track down and put it all together. Yes, I liked him. Yeah, I thought he was good.
I found that side of film and the politics fascinating. I also liked how some of the people have been affected.
Mm-hmm.
They were calling to these people. They wanted them people to do.
There was an invite. There was a subliminal message to be invited.
Yeah, it was an invite, and I thought they didn't go enough with that.
Mm.
And I understand his obsession because they were calling to him.
And that's why he started doing the sculptures and stuff.
It's like, that was his family and his wife. He just fucks them all off.
Yeah, and she had
Like,
enough. She
they
pisses off.
became second rate. Like, and that, when I watched it, I like Richard Dreyfuss.
I do too. Yeah, I think he's a very good actor. Yeah, I do too.
And I think he played a good part, but he'd been married, he had this family, he'd been married to him for years. And the film had just cleared off. He didn't even think about any of them. I know they were calling to him, but they were his children.
Yeah, the thing is, it was strange because obviously, he had a wife and he had about 2 or 3 kids. And slowly she just thought he was having a nervous breakdown. And she tried to stick it out. She tried to be supportive, and he just got weirder and weirder. And he started sort of like doing, getting his mashed potato and making the Devil's Tower sculpture. And then he started, and he just lost the plot. And it's very strange because, well, it used to work for me. For some reason, I don't know why, because I like a lot of classic movies, but for some reason, this one on the rewatch, it didn't have the same vibe that it used to have. It's like something.
It's like we'd moved on beyond that.
Yeah, but why that? Because we don't say that. But most classic films we review, we still love them.
I don't love the film. Don't get me wrong. I've not. It's not one of them. I
don't dislike. I still like it as well. But it just seems to have dropped a tier or two since I last watched it.
It's something I'd only watched. I mean, I've not seen it in 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Apart from
I watched it for this.
Right.
And I did find it hard work to get. I was like bored through parts of it.
It's a bit dragged out, isn't it? There's lots of him sort of like with the kids and everything, and at home and sort of like domestic. Like it was a bit like a soap opera at some points, wasn't it?
Yeah. But there were things in it that worked absolutely amazingly. That were and I think if it had gone. Like they were benevolent grey aliens, right?
Yeah.
And when they were a kid, when they took her kid and sucked him up the chimney, it were like I thought that were good. I really did. But when she like went looking for the kid after sucking him up through a chimney, I know she got him back.
Yeah.
But it's that they're here to make contacts, like. Taking a mother's child, and it is quite scary, that thing, because when I saw it as a kid, it terrified me.
Like the little screws coming out and the light coming out of the chimney, and
but the French scientists and the politicians, the military the people involved in the project had no feeling. They were very focused on this event, and I liked all that. But I know you've got to have a story, and Richard Dreyfuss, he will at the heart of the film.
Yeah, but why is it something that just doesn't seem to have the impact it used to? I don't know what it is.
Well, when it come out, when Close Encounters came out, it gave sort of respect to the ufology thing.
Also, at the time,
it put it on the map a lot.
And also at that time, there wasn't many films like that. It was a big film. It was overshadowed by Star Wars. I think Star Wars might have come out afterwards. Which came out first?
I think Star Wars came out first.
Oh, maybe.
They were out at the same time.
So, on the same year, but I don't know which came out first.
Yeah,
I know. It's a strange one. I mean, Terry Gar's. Go on.
The ending, I mean, you see what it is. I mean, back at the time, everybody rated on. I remember reading in Starburst, all them sci-fi magazines that used to come out with that. They always had like issue. Years later, there was like a double-page spread on Close Encounters, how it's one of the most intelligent films ever made. And I will give it that to a point. It is a very sort of clever film. But I'd say when I saw Jodie Foster's Contact and the other one, the one that come out a couple of years ago, Arrival.
Arrival was really good.
I found these.
I liked it. But maybe that's why. Maybe because we've seen Arrival in the Jodie Foster one. Maybe it's because there's been not exactly remakes, but similar stories, which maybe are a bit more accessible, or just
maybe
it's a limited kind of format in that story idea.
Yeah, the stories were more. I don't know if there were a lot more. With Contact, it's a lot of science
Contact,
with it,
yeah, Contact, yeah.
which and that's one of my favourite films. I think that's a masterpiece of a film.
I can't. I don't. I know.
It's worth.
I
It's
need to
worth a
rewatch
look.
that. I need to
Yeah,
rewatch
it
that one.
should. It is very good.
Well, we can review that if you want at some
Yeah,
point.
no, it's fantastic. But I think you made a good point. Like Close Encounters is of its time.
Yeah, it was unique at the time,
Yeah,
but because it's had similar
it's not
stories
evolved.
since, yeah, and perhaps to the detriment because it's been remade and some of the remakes have, if not just as good, but in some ways better for what they did. That it's kind of made the original kind of feel a bit like it's lost a bit in the background. It's sort of lost its.
I thought the extended bit added a lot of clarity to it.
Okay, so I have mostly seen the extended bit. The only bit
It's
I
where
know
you see
was
inside
just
the
him.
spaceship.
Yeah, but all you see him is he's sitting on the ship and he's going up towards the ship, isn't it? It wasn't a huge major.
He goes. They go inside, and there's all these like aliens waving at him.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I thought the only bit was that we see him in the ship going up towards the ship, and then I don't know. I don't think it was a major change.
He goes inside. It's massive inside.
Oh, and there was this aliens waving. I thought there was aliens waving.
Well, they're all looking out of the windows, looking at him, and he's looking.
Oh,
and that's all. That's all it really is.
So how many extra minutes was in the special? It wasn't that much, was it?
Only about 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It wasn't a major.
It's nothing.
It's not like the original Alien or something. Director's cut.
No, I like the thing of like when they found the airplanes in the desert, because them planes did disappear in history. Them planes did disappear. It's a famous story. But when they found the planes, and then they found the boat in the desert, and then these people came back who they took, in the past, and they're not aged.
We saw Lance Henriksen as an airplane pilot, I think he was.
Yeah.
And when they're coming out at the end,
really?
Yeah, and they were coming out of the ship, and it's Lance Henriksen. He was in a couple of scenes. He wasn't in it majorly, but he was one of the people they brought back, and of course they and a lot of them have been disappeared like 30-40 years or whatever it is, and they're saying, oh, welcome back, and will you come this way, and all that sort of stuff.
But so like it never explained why they took these people and then brought them back.
I think it was the way I interpret it was an exchange of information from our two respective cultures. It was a ambassadorial kind of thing where aliens wanted to learn about humanity, and also humanity could learn about the aliens.
They kidnapped everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
without permission. But that was kind of, yeah. But they're coming back and they weren't harmed, I guess.
No, that's true. That's true. I like where the guy in the red uniforms, they were all from different countries, were going to go aboard the ship.
Yes.
All
they're all like
military.
Yeah, they're all representatives.
That makes
sense. Yes, that's exactly right.
And they did bring the people back who they took, but
so it's like that was the first stage, and this is the next stage now where they've made contact. They've obviously studied humans. The humans are being brought back. This is the next stage where now people, properly designated people from different societies and different educational backgrounds, were going with the aliens to interpret their intelligence and their perspectives for the aliens to learn, and vice versa.
Yeah.
That's what it was about. So it was clever.
People put it up there with 2001.
No, I don't think it's that.
No, I don't. But they do put it up there. Some people.
I think it's quite. No, don't get me wrong. It's a very intelligent film. It just, for some reason, for me, as we started talking tonight, it just doesn't have the impact that it might have done for me, say, 20 years ago, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've seen so much stuff. I've seen so much science fiction. Maybe
it might have been too family orientated as well.
Well, I mean, I was Terry Garr, because obviously it was funny because she was in the original Star Trek. And it's really funny because there's one scene in the film where you see a model of the Starship Enterprise.
And the Klingon battle.
And she's there. And I thought, hey, she should recognize that. She's been in Star Trek. And apparently Terry Garr almost like disowned any association with Star Trek. Apparently she was really anti being on the original series. She was quite embarrassed about it, and she just didn't want to ignore. I read something about that.
That's silly, isn't it?
And I thought to myself, why? I mean, because obviously she was in. It was going to be a backdoor pilot. Assignment Earth was a backdoor pilot for another science fiction series, which failed, and she could have been a co-star. And I don't know. I'm sure years ago I read something about the fact that she didn't like being involved with Star Trek at all, and she just slightly embarrassed about the association. Which is, if that's the case, that's a great shame. So she shouldn't feel like that. But
Do you think, like, do you think Close Encounters they could have done a sequel? Do you think
I was about to say exactly that. The way we talked about the ambassadors,
it could be done.
It could have been done.
And
I reckon there'd be enough interest if they did do a sequel. Is Richard Dreyfuss still around? He is, isn't he?
Yeah, but no. When the people got took away, Second World War, that was set in what 78. Nobody had aged.
Well, yeah, they're not going to de-age him for a whole movie, are they, or something?
Yeah,
well, they could do, but
get another actor into place.
Yeah, but it's never the same when a different actor plays the first character. Look at
But
Solo.
do you think you could do a sequel to that, where they bring them back after 30 years or whatever?
Well, I think it could be. I don't know.
It's basically it is possible. Though,
I don't know if it's enough of the oomph from the first one to warrant a sequel where, okay, the aliens come back. Obviously, humanity's evolved. Have they had contact over the last 30, 40 years? And
I don't
know. I mean, it could be that they could make a film where society is completely changed, but they're not keeping it quiet in the first film. They were putting like things like there's been a gas leak, and they were having like dead animals and stuff to put people away from going to the Devil's Tower. Just they wanted to keep it secret.
Yeah, but I think all that's quite realistic. I think they probably would do.
So what would be?
I really do think they would do that. If there was some form of contact, they want to keep it quiet. They probably would go to them lengths to keep it quiet.
But if that's the case, then the premise of the sequel would be, the people that were taken in the first film 40 years ago, which actually matches the length of the first film. 40 years later,
what happens?
They've come back, and what have they learned? And then I don't think it's got enough of a. I don't know.
I think there's something there, but I
don't think it'd be enough to make a movie. I don't think the idea of a sequel, unless it's really radically different, that the aliens are. I don't know. They're going to change humanity because they've learnt so much in those 40 years, but then. The ones in the first 40 years, they just came back and just looked a bit dazed and a bit confused. And where have we been? And how come it's 1977 rather than 1943 or whatever it was?
As that's a sequel, suddenly Cocoon comes into my mind.
I liked Cocoon.
Cocoon I don't know why. It just does.
Cocoon 2.
Yeah, Cocoon 2.
That wasn't set that much different, was it? That was set a few years after.
But they not aged when they brought them back or something.
I can't remember the sequel.
Yeah,
I've not seen the sequel I can't even remember. I know of it. I did see it, but that's why I can't even recall it, quite frankly. So it can't have been very good. The first one was good.
I don't know. Close Encounter. I'm not going to diss it. It's. I think at the time it opened the door to ufology quite a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that about it. It put a bit of a serious thing. Did you hear about what Ronald Reagan had said to Steven Spielberg at the premiere?
No, go on.
Apparently, I don't know if it's true, but when Ronald Reagan went to watch the premiere of it, he sat next to Spielberg and he said to Spielberg, if only you knew the truth. That's what apparently he said to him.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. It's rumored, But
UFOs have been. I mean, I know you've been a big fan of UFOs a lot of your life and everything, and I am interested. UFOs for me, I'm skeptical now because it's 2024 and everybody has a camera and a sonic to video with them all day long, every day.
Got 4K cameras and nobody can get a decent.
Nobody ever gets. It's always just a blur. It's just a mess. Well, sorry, you know what I mean. You just think about. You just think about the actual logistics of a camera in your pocket, which can be 4K.
I mean, if you pay £10,000 for a camera, you're going to expect to get a bloody decent photo.
And it's not. They're always a blur. I mean, I'd love the idea that there's been something. I don't know. I used to be really more interested in the UFOs and believe. I'm just more of a. But as you get older, you do tend to get a bit more skeptical about certain things in life. It's the nature of you know,
I
experience.
don't wrong with that. I think it keeps the mind healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you should. And with today, with AI and all this other special effects shit, it's. I uploaded a video to Facebook yesterday, and people had cats, like lovely furry cats, and they were massive. They're like a house cat, and it was suddenly 5 foot long, big,
right.
and it was, and then it said underneath, "This is done by AI." You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
I mean,
looks so bloody realistic, though.
I mean, I use stuff, but mine's a bit more basic. There are some really good AI imagery packages you can get. I think I assume they're the ones you have to pay for. I mean, ChatGPT does AI. I do a lot of thumbnails with AI with that now. Some of it works. Some of it, I mean, you get there's a lot of hate for AI imagery on Facebook. Yeah, I go to some Facebook groups and sometimes I share something I've made or something, and they say, "Oh, what? Why? I don't want this on this group, and why have we got to look at this?" And
no, keep doing it. Don't
yeah, but
stop.
why is it? Yeah, but I mean, I've said this before. I find it fascinating what you can ask something to create through AI, and it does its own interpretation. I find, but a lot of people, there's a lot of hate for it, a lot of hate.
No,
and I don't know why.
It's going to change
fear?
the world.
Is it
It's
fear?
going to change the world.
I don't know. Is it fear or what? Why is there such a
I think it is fear. I don't know. I love all them AI 1950s backdrop sci-fi movies.
Yeah, we've shared. Yeah, there's been quite a lot of those.
Can't get enough of them.
Panavision, what are they called? The ones with like the Matrix or Terminator or
brilliant.
You know, I did the Blue Oyster one, didn't I, with Star Trek recently, and that turned out to be pretty good.
Superb.
But
I'm a big fan of AI. Big fan of it.
Yeah, I am too. I think it's dangerous, but I just find it so compellingly interesting.
But it's only dangerous. It's only people that are going to make it dangerous.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know.
Until it becomes Skynet, then we have to shit ourselves. But until then, we're going to be all right. Well,
look, I think it's time to wrap this up now. Close Encounters. And actually, like the doorbell's going, but I'm hoping someone's going to answer in a minute because I'm on the phone. Close Encounters, out of 10, what would you rate it?
I'm gonna give it an 8 because it's got that respectability to it. But I was gonna give it a 7, but I thought because of what it is, I think
because it stood out. If you'd asked me 5 years ago, I would have given it an 8, and now I'll give it a 7.5. I'll give it a slight drop, just a minimal drop. It's still high. I don't know why, and it's very strange that most films I've rewatched I've really enjoyed, but for something about it, maybe it's because there's too many scenes with the family at home with the kids getting a bit annoyed with the dad, and they could have chopped off about 20 minutes of all that. I think I think that's what it is. It's too much him at home, kind of like whining and wanting to stay at home, and the wife getting fed up, and it went on a bit. I think that's what it is. It's a good idea. It's a good concept. It's well acted, it's well directed, great music. The alien at the end looked really cool, but it's just something which is lost in time, lost interpretation in 2024. So
8 belongs to its 70s on that.
Yeah, but it's still good. And like I said, it was the catalyst for films like Arrival, which I've only seen that once, but I thought that was really solid. I'll have to give that a rewatch as well. All right, Martin, thank you very much for that. So I'm doing another interview with Todd Slayton tomorrow. I think Malcolm's involved, not sure, but we're going to also have some other people involved with that. Obviously, unfortunately, Martin can't make it. So next week, what we'll do is because it's not fair on you. Next week, I'm going to release 2 podcasts. I'm going to release the Todd interview next Thursday, and then we'll also do our one on Tuesday, I think it is. We'll have 2 next week.
2 weeks time, but 2 weeks that'll be all right.
No, let's do a record next week. So next week, are we doing the original Twilight Zone? Did we say, or what did we say?
No, Galactica 80.
Oh, Galactica 1980. Are you sure?
I'm ready for that. I'm prepared.
Can you seriously? This is a big step. This is because
I will behave myself.
You told me to piss off when I said Galactica 1980.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm even squeezing the chair with my hands right now, and making out and being like nice to you. Do you know what I mean? Yes, that will do it. It needs to be done. Then we've completed Galactica.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking of some of those scenes, like remember that biker gang, and there's, I don't know what it is. What is it? He kept saying the same thing all the time with the bike because they're like, oh, it was some such cheesy moments and everything.
Space Scouts.
I liked. Oh no, Space Scouts was terrible. But yeah, the Return of Starbuck. We're talking next week. This is next week's thing. We're not talking about now.
And well, one more thing: the Milky Bar fucking kid sat on Galactica.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? He was the Milky Bar kid, and he was on the turbo boost was on him, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Was it the same kid?
I've just broke my chair in half talking about this.
What are you doing? Because you're gyrating a bit with your chair. It looks like you're having
fun.
I'm
trying to hold it all in when you talk.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. You look like you want to go to the toilet or something. Martin, thank you very much.
Right. What? We've got a bit of time. What do you want to do for two? We need to do.
Hang on, is this something we're talking behind the scenes, or are we still actually trying? We haven't said goodbye yet.
No,
if we
said bye-bye yet.
No, we haven't said bye-bye yet. So this is why.
All right, let's say bye-bye.
Right.
Then.
So listen, this is behind the scenes. So thank you very much, Martin. We're now going to talking after the show about what we're doing, and this is private, so you can't hear this, people, but. You'll find out when we do the.
Live long and prosper.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Live long and prosper.